Hello everyone, this is Logan59XP here for another episode of the Nin-Cast here on March 1st of 2022, and today we got ourselves a special guest.
Hi.
So yeah, Ethan is back for the first time since, the E3 2021 discussion, I think, and and we're here today to talk about the newly announced Pokemon games, that of course being Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, and maybe some other stuff from the recent presents as well. So yeah.
I want to get this out of the way real quick, but I think Legends will get one more free DLC, this time focusing on the Distortion worlds. Not like the actual Distortion world from Diamond Pearl, but the Distortion zones that appear in the overworld.
You mean
I think similar.
you mean the distortion world from Platinum?
No, that's not what I'm talking about. The time-space distortions that are already in the game.
Oh,
I
okay.
think similar to how they did the massive mass outbreaks update. I think we'll get something similar to time space distortions, where like more than one of them, like there'll just be a bunch of them appearing on the map at once. And one thing that would be cool to coincide with the home release is if they put the original forms of the starters back into the game, and like any other Pokemon that had like a regional form in the game, add them back, just so like you can keep the game like future proofed its own. I think that'd be pretty nice. And I don't think it's impossible either. I think we'll get one more update, specifically since they gave the first one a name. It seems like there's going to be like a couple more of them before Scarlet and Violet come out.
So wait, does Legends have home support?
Not yet, but it's supposed
Okay,
to get
well,
it this year.
okay, so obviously it'll get an update to at least add that in. And also, Brilliant Diamond and whatnot doesn't have it yet either, does it?
No, for whatever dumb reason.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. It doesn't have it yet.
So for Scarlet and Violet, I was initially kind of off put. I just did not think they were gonna do Gen 9 this soon. So much so that I was just like in denial when it was announced, that I seriously thought it like had to be like a Detective Pikachu 2.
Yeah, if you
But
want to
it
see our reaction, it's up on the secondary channel.
but I'm warming up to it now, and I have hope for the game, especially because we already got home support is already confirmed for the game, and there's Hisuian Pokemon in this game, as confirmed by one of the screenshots from the website. I forgot where. I think it's on the Japanese side, but you see your trainer fighting with a Hisuian Zoroark fighting a Lucario out in the overworld. So seamless battles are still going to stay in the same. That's being carried over from PLA. Thank God, because I did not want it to be like back to Gen 8, or not Gen 8, Sword and Shield, where it was just a transitional battles. They're keeping seamless battles in the game. The only thing I hope they keep as well is the catching mechanics from Let's Go Arceus, or not Let's Go Arceus, Legend Arceus.
Let's go, Arceus.
I hope they keep that in the game, because the catching mechanics in Legends it's beyond fun. I already have like 80 hours on the game, and majority of that is probably from catching Pokemon.
Oh
The
yeah,
game is really fun, and I really, really hope the mechanics come back.
oh yeah. Just a little disclaimer for anyone listening. I have not played Legends yet, so I can't really contribute to anything that involves Legends. Just a heads up.
Better than Sword and Shield, better than the remakes.
Well, everyone pretty much agrees on that. Everyone agrees that Legends is like, if it may not be perfect, it's a definite step in the right direction that people seem to be mostly happy with. And you can
Oh yeah.
clearly see that, because I remember people were talking about, oh, Legends maybe being a testing ground, for stuff they might do in Gen 9. And you can clearly tell from the trailer that That is absolutely the case, because it literally says on the website, they don't hide it at all. On the website, it literally says this is the first, like, proper, true entry with a full open world. So they are
I think they
not
said it
hiding
on
it.
Twitter too.
So they are not
That's gonna
hiding
be
it
like the
at
main
all.
selling point of the game.
Oh, absolutely. But the thing that's kind of awkward about that is it kind of makes Legends now feel kind of like a little pointless. It's like, oh, why bother with Legends when we're gonna get like this game at like the end of the year? It's kind of weird, especially like the timing. It's like, oh yeah, let's announce these games a month after the last game came out.
Yeah, I mean they did that with Sword and Shield's DLC. They only waited a month and a half to announce it.
But that was just DLC though. That wasn't like an actual full-blown game.
Yeah, but they also this isn't the first time they've released two mainline games in the same year. I mean, they're still spread apart like the last ones have been.
Yeah, there's still gonna be a good amount of space between them. It just feels kind of weird still, especially when like people were already worried. Like before Legends came out, people were already worried about how that game was gonna turn out from like the screenshots and the videos and like the frame drops and stuff. And people were like, I really hope they're not rushing it. And I've kind of seen the same, like, I'd say, and I don't use Twitter, I don't use any of that stuff, but from the little I have seen, the general reaction to this game has been, looks neat, but I am concerned that it is coming out this year. That is based.
I've mostly seen pretty positive reactions about the game.
I mean, I didn't see that much. I'm just like, overall, people are excited. It's just that I have seen a good amount of concern for, they're putting this out this year, right after Arceus. I wonder if that's gonna be a good idea. That's about it in terms of like, yeah, I don't really know what people. Actually, I haven't even talked about this yet, but I don't really know what people's general impressions of the starters are, but I can tell you what mine are.
I think I've looking through Twitter, most of them are pretty positive, and people are loving the cat.
Well, I guess I'll go ahead and for anyone, I did make a comment on like the reaction for this, but for anyone that didn't look at that, so here's my impressions as of right now. Obviously, this can change in the future, but as of right now, here's my impression of the starters. I'm not gonna say their names. I'm just gonna tell you what the type is because that's easier. The water one I think is fine. The grass cat one looks fake, but overall fine, and it's probably the one I'm gonna end up picking because it's a cat. And then the fire one, the fire one I'm not thrilled with.
That's definitely the one I'm going with.
The names are kind of weird because I'm looking at the names right now and they look weird. They feel like they're the most different names to me of all the starters we've had so far. I don't know if that's just me though.
Yeah. One thing I heard like people kind of worried about are the main character designs.
Actually,
the reason why they're dressed as school kids is because like they are in school and this game will have tasks like Legends Arceus does, except you'll receive those tasks from your school and they'll be catch X Pokemon or catch X type. Kind of like the request from Legends Arceus, but just reworked into like more of a school setting rather than an expedition team. And also, I just think they also went with like the ambiguous design because I mean, trainers nowadays they're more of like self inserts for you, the main player, and everyone customizes their character anyway, so they don't really look like the official trainer. So that's why I'm kind of fine with getting like an ambiguous design, because I mean character customization is going to be in this game regardless.
Yeah,
so it's just their base outfits I don't really like, but I mean I'm not going to be playing with this outfit. I'm going to be playing however I dress the character.
Well, I mean, overall, I don't really like the approach for these characters. Okay, it's like, yeah, you're right. Obviously, we'll be able to customize our clothes. So you know what? Let's ignore the clothes for a second. I just am not really a huge fan of how they have clearly deviated from the traditional Pokemon character look that we've had since like 1996, or okay, maybe not 1996, but like I don't know, 2013. I don't know. Like they've clearly deviated from that look, which I'm not super thrilled with because they don't really look like
Yeah.
Pokemon characters.
Yeah, I can see why.
And it's also a bit jarring when like Arceus, like I mean the characters in Arceus are very obviously supposed to be like old, like they're like the ancestors of the ones from the games that the game is based on. But like but they look like Pokemon characters. They have that Sugimori Pokemon look. These characters do not at all. They,
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
like they
The new
look
training
too
style.
generic. I guess is the easy way I could sum it up. Is they look too generic.
I can see that. That's kind of what I think about the characters.
So
They're a little generic looking.
yeah. Them having like the same outfit doesn't help that either.
And they have version exclusive outfits too.
Oh, is that why? Okay, because I was wondering why, like, on like the wiki, there's like the two colors. I'm like, what? Can you like pick the color or something?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So I think the trainers they're just meh.
Yeah, they're
So
there. Pretty much.
do you think regional forms will be back? 'Cause we already have Hisuian forms in the game.
Well, I mean, at this point, having forms is kind of like a new tradition. Hasn't that been in like every mainline
Yeah.
game since Sun and Moon? So like, why would they not have? We don't know what the name of this place is, do we? Whatever. They're gonna have forms for the new area. That seems pretty clear to me. I don't see why they would drop that.
One form I think we're gonna get is a new regional Meowth. And because the way they showed off Meowth in this trailer was kind of odd, it looked like it was in a cutscene and there was no other Pokemon around it, and the route it was in looked like an early game route. And in Sun and Moon, we saw a Cantonian Meowth before we actually got the reveal of an Alolan Meowth. So I think we're gonna get another regional Meowth just to continue the trend.
Again, okay, complete kind of a random-ish side tangent. I just remembered something about the starters that's also kind of strange. It's like we're getting another cat starter like 2 generations after the last cat starter.
I don't see a problem with that.
I mean, it's not really a problem. It's just kind of like weird.
I mean, we got a monkey, we got a turtle generations after they were released. So it's not the first time they've done it.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I don't know, just it was something I thought of like at one point. It's like, oh yeah. But anyways.
I hope we get more Gen 5 regional forms and more Gen 6 regional forms. Especially since they've been seeming to give more attention to Unova forms. Hello?
I'm still here. I was like wondering why he just stopped.
Well, I was waiting for you to say something.
Oh, what? Didn't really have anything to say. But just like the Brilliant Diamond Shiny Pearl discussion, I'm gonna be kind of on the sidelines here because I'm just not gonna have as much to say.
And another thing too, it seems like the region will be in Spain.
Yeah. I said that when I was like, oh, this looks like Spain. This just looks like Spain, and I heard that it was literally, or at least it was based on Southern European, like whatever. But yeah, it's like Spain. That sounds about right. Like the thing that I think solidified that for me was like seeing like the roofs of what is presumably your house. like the roof tiling was like, oh yeah, that's Spain. That's like the thing that kind of was like sealing it for me anyway.
Yeah.
Also, there's like that one
Some
like
people said Italy too.
also there's that one like town square that looks like it's from Sunshine. Or
Oh
whatever.
yeah, it looked like the one from Sword and Shield kind of. It looked like Motostoke, but not too much like Motostoke. I just wonder how the catching mechanics are going to work in this game. Because there was a tweet saying that you need to battle Pokemon before catching them, and that wasn't the case with Legends. So I'm hoping,
Well, this is also a proper mainline game, so why wouldn't that be the case?
well, because Legends kind of innovated on that. They made it so like catching Pokemon was the core of the game, and it still kind of is. And you could use various techniques to catch Pokemon. So I don't see why they wouldn't transfer it over to the mainline games if they're bringing seamless and overworld battles to the game. It just doesn't make sense to not have it in. To me, it's just taking away a feature that doesn't need to be taken away.
I mean, I guess bringing over as much things from that game would probably be a good idea anyway, because that's what people would want.
It's the game people have been wanting for years.
Yeah. So why not, I guess?
Or do you think they're going to bring back gyms this gen?
They're gonna bring back what?
Gyms, or do you think they're going to have something
Oh.
else?
Like when you say gyms, do you mean like they're gonna just straight up bring back gyms, or are they gonna bring back something that's basically gyms, but it's just a different name?
Gyms.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with no.
You're gonna say no? Well, the only real hint I have to go off of is that one, and this might be something that's completely unrelated, but that one, like, church-looking building with the big Pokeball on it. Maybe that's something? I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, they could not. I really don't feel strongly enough either way.
I hope that we get more regional forms than we do new Pokemon. And I hope they bring back regional evolutions and cross-gen evolutions to this game as well.
When's the last time they did a cross-gen evolution anyway?
Legends Arceus.
Okay, well, as I said before, I wouldn't know. So...
Yeah. We got a new evolution for Scyther, Basculin,
Okay.
Stantler, and Ursuline.
Okay, I do remember a couple of those actually. See now, okay, so now that you've brought up like them bringing back more. See, that's something that's kind of interesting. So I don't know how people would feel about that, bringing back more old Pokemon than giving us new Pokemon. And now
Well, I mean, they did it in Sword and Shield too. They gave us regional evolutions in Sword and Shield as well.
Okay, this is a question that might be a little too big. How many, like, if you were to throw out a number, how much Pokemon do you think this game is gonna have?
I'm gonna go with the safe 50.
Wait,
And
what?
that is, yes, and that is because they have to work with more animations than they did in the previous games. So I think we might get less Pokemon, then we'll get some more added via DLC and any other mainline games we'll get in this generation. So like the max will be, I think the max is like gonna be 70 in this entire generation.
I mean,
That's
okay, I
just
didn't.
game.
Okay, okay,
Because Legends only had like 240 Pokemon. That's less Pokemon than Gold and Silver.
so wait, you're saying? So wait, what? See, are you saying 70 new Pokemon?
Yes.
Okay, that's not technically the question I asked. I asked how much Pokemon will be in the game. Period.
Starting off, I think they'll try and get up to 500 this time. I think that's a safe bet.
How much does Sword and Shield have?
Sword and Shield as of now have like 650,
How much did it have at launch?
400.
Okay then. You know what's okay? You know, I just thought of something. So obviously, we all thought that Legends was gonna get like a pass. It was gonna get some like real DLC, and then that didn't happen. Well, obviously, this game will. And what's kind of funny is that that's gonna line up because we were actually just talking about this before we started recording this, but of course 2024, so like okay, the game comes out in 2022, we get like an expansion pass in 2023, and then 2024 is when like the next like thing comes out, assuming they outdo some other thing like another remake or whatever,
I think we'll get a Gen 5 remake.
like in the near future.
After Scarlet and Violet, yeah.
Would it be a okay? Well, actually, well, first things first.
I'll see a remake.
Okay. Okay. Well, actually, I want to come back to that in a second. But the main thing I was trying to get at here is it's like that would also all that would kind of line up to like because 2024 is most likely going to be when the Switch 2 comes out. So if they really wanted to, they could have like I don't know. We'll just say Gen 10, which sounds kind of weird to say Gen 10. Feels weird to say that. We could have that be like on the Switch in Switch 2 in 2024. Even though realistically they wouldn't do that because Pokemon has always been like they've always like taken their time to move to
Not
the
with
new.
the Switch. The Switch they had one out in 2018. So I think the 2025 release would be likely.
Okay, but the Switch came
and
out.
It was the mainline game.
But the Switch came out in 2017, and we didn't get a Pokemon game, well, mainline game on the Switch in 2017.
Yeah, we got one in 2018 though, so I wouldn't call that late to the party.
Well, I mean, the DS came out in 2004, and Emerald came out in like 2005.
It came out in 2004 in Japan, and Diamond and Pearl were supposed to come out in 2005, but got delayed to 2006.
Okay then. I mean, not that it really was gonna matter all that much whether it's a Switch or a Switch 2 game because it's gonna be backwards compatible anyway. But yeah, I don't know. But anyways, going back to the remake thing though is so do you think? Okay, we're getting a little off topic here, but what the black and white
we can talk about remakes because this is just like a general future Pokemon discussion.
Sure. So like, would the black and white remakes be Game Freak remakes or ILCA remakes?
ILCA.
Okay, like the same exact style and everything.
Yeah, but I think they'll do that because I think they're gonna want to shift the remakes onto ILCA while Game Freak makes bigger titles.
See, I'm a little conflicted on that because I feel like black and white like deserves more than that. If that makes any sense. I don't know. I would
rather them. I think the best case scenario is ILCA remakes Black and White and Black and White 2. Because I would like those games to be remade in that style. Because they're already perfect games. So like a 3D version of that would be even better.
I guess. I don't know. I don't know. I just kind of would prefer a more like proper remake of those than like.
Who knows? Honestly, I think we could get one, but I think they're better off in ILCA's hands.
Because, like, I mean, I liked Brilliant Diamond fine, but they definitely feel more like HD remasters than like a remake. Like, they stick very, very close to the original, which I know is the
They
point.
have the Grand Underground and the Romanos part though. I think that those are pretty different things to differentiate from the originals.
I never really messed with. It's funny because for all the talk of, oh yeah, I really hope they keep the underground, I've actually barely touched the underground in that game.
They were gonna keep it. There was no way they were gonna cut it.
But,
I don't know why people thought they were gonna cut it.
I don't know, because it's dual screen or because they cut the Battle Frontier or whatever.
Well,
I
the
don't
Battle
know.
Frontier is the. Here's the thing though. Battle Frontier is post game and a single third version game. The Underground was always in Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum in the story. Like it was a part of the story. So they just it didn't make sense to cut it.
Fair enough, I guess.
But I don't have too much to say on Scarlet and Violet. I kind of just gave out my hopes. I'm glad they're bringing back the Hisuian Pokemon in this game, and I really hope that we get more regional forms and evolutions for older Pokemon. And another one more thing, like it just sucks that I can't talk too much about the game because we really don't know much. But
Yeah.
I really hope we don't get like these dry spells that Pokemon has been doing. Like I hope we get like a proper trailer like every month or so. 'Cause I don't want to go till like June without seeing a single thing on the game.
You know, yeah, actually, let's rewind way back to the beginning. We were talking about like the whole like. I actually haven't looked at any of like anyone else's reactions to Scarlet or Violet, but I'm willing to bet like most of them started out the way that it was for us, where we were like, "Hey, look, it's Detective Pikachu finally," and then it's like, "Nope."
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, so when the hell is that happening already? Like that game's been well, it's probably been in development longer, but we've known about that game for like 2 years, and they haven't told us anything about it. It's like, oh yeah, CH12 about Prime 4 and Bayonetta 3 taking forever, but people at least talk about those games. People will talk about those games. Nobody talks about Detective Pikachu. No one remembers that game is still coming. Hell, I'm willing to bet. I'm willing to bet there were people out there that thought that trailer was for a Detective Pikachu movie sequel, not even the game. That's something else right there. Is the fact that like Detective Pikachu is now synonymous with the movie and not the game anymore. That's the only thing anyone knows about Detective Pikachu is the movie.
Yeah, it kind of sucks because the game was really good.
I remember when that game was first announced in like 2016, and it was like,
No,
oh,
it was announced in 2013. You know, the first one took forever to come out too, right? The first one was revealed before X and Y came out, and it came out after Sun and Moon.
it came out. No, the first episode came out in like February of 2016.
I'm talking about when it was announced.
Okay, well that's different then.
So, like, the time. We still haven't even passed the time from, like, the original teaser and the original release. We still haven't passed that yet. Let me see Detective Pikachu.
Was Detective Pikachu
Yeah,
in
October. It was announced in October 28th, 2013.
Was that
Didn't come out for 3 whole years later.
oh, actually? Now that I remember, okay, didn't they also reveal like Pokken during that time? Wasn't that when they
Yeah.
first teased that? I think I remember seeing a video where they like teased like a little snippet of it. Wasn't Detective Pikachu teased with like some kind of like wireframe thing or something? Wasn't it supposed to be like some kind of tech demo? I don't know. It's been forever. I don't know why. I just for some reason I feel like I remember Detective Pikachu being like teased as like some like Pikachu tech demo wireframe thing. I'm probably completely wrong on that. All I remember for sure is that it was at least released, like, in Japan in, like, 2016. I remember people being like, whoa, Pikachu. Wait, does Pikachu talk in the game? I don't actually know if he does. Obviously, he talks in the movie. I don't know if he talks in the game, but I think I remember people talking about how he, he talks in the game, and that's weird. And oh, they should totally get Danny DeVito to play him when they localize it. Let me see. So on the wiki, it says the game was initially revealed in a NHK professional. I'm not gonna even bother trying to pronounce that documentary featuring Ishihara on October 28, 2013. That's a random place to announce a new Pokemon game. What? We got the trailer on here. I'm actually kind of curious what the hell what even that was. Like, did they just say it was coming, or was it like an actual teaser or something?
Sorry, I hung up for a sec. So the whole time we were talking, I didn't hear.
Oh, I was just looking at like the Bulbapedia thing, and it was like, oh, the game was revealed on some like NHK documentary or something with Ishihara. It's like, what?
Yeah.
It's so random.
Yeah, Pokemon does random things like that.
Yeah. What even does Creatures do? I know that the Creatures don't they make like the Pokemon models that's used in like all the games?
Yeah.
Like outside of like that, like what else do they even do? Like that's what's kind of weird. They're like the secret, like they're like the what's the right word? I don't know what the right word is, but they're like the hidden secret like Pokemon developer that nobody talks about, even though they own like a third of the franchise. Because they don't do anything, or at least they don't do anything like publicly, really. They've got
They used to be the company that created Earthbound, I think.
Yeah, they were like Ape Inc. back in the day. They made like the first two Mother games. I do know that, but in terms of like new stuff, like the only thing I really know them as is like they own a third of Pokemon. They made the first two Mother games. They didn't make the third one, to my knowledge, and then they made Detective Pikachu. That's probably their biggest claim to fame in recent years is that they made Detective Pikachu. Oh, and then yeah, the whole thing of where they like make the models or whatever. They've apparently made some other spin-offs, like they made I see Pokemon Rangers on here, even though I don't think they made any of those games, but that's on the website. They apparently do all of the like Pokemon card stuff because they got a bunch of cards on their website.
Yeah, that's what they do.
So that might be the main thing they do, I guess, is the cards, and everything else is secondary. Poke Park, some other things. Yeah. Movie, music. Wait, do they make trailers? Kinda.
No, that's TPC.
Okay, because they have like a list here. It's like movie / music, and there's a couple of things on here, but none of them are like anything we would recognize. Yes, 3D CG model production. Actually, what's kind of funny is they put games as their #1 thing, and then the card game is second. Yeah, most recent thing on their games list is Detective Pikachu, and then it's like Poke Park, Pokemon Rangers, and that's kind of at it. Oh, they made the Pokemon AR app on the 3DS for like black and white. Or whatever.
I remember that game.
Yeah. I thought Pokemon Ranger was made by, like, Genius Sorority or whatever the hell their name is, or one of those guys.
I never knew too much about Ranger because I just never played it.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't get that many spin-offs these days. That's not really a thing anymore. Outside of like
No, unfortunately.
the only real spin-off anyone really I've seen like really talk about in recent times I can think of is like people talking about new mystery dungeon or something like that. I mean, you know, before we got a new Snap, that Snap would have probably been another one people would have talked about.
Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't gotten a new. When was the last mystery dungeon game? Like 2015?
2019 or 2020.
I'm not talking about the remakes. I mean like a new game.
Oh yeah, 2015.
Yeah, the remakes were like. I almost wonder if they made those remakes just to see if they would sell. It's like, oh, they didn't sell well enough, so we won't do any more. For all I know, maybe there is another one in development. They just haven't announced yet. But that series is like it came back and it just went away again.
Yep. Oh well.
Apparently, Hal worked on Pokemon Ranger.
I never cared too much about I never cared too much about Ranger or like Mystery Dungeon.
I've never really played those ones. I've never really the only spin-off I've really played. Well, okay, I mean I've played a couple of spin-offs, like Battle Revolution is technically a spin-off, for example. Pokemon Rumble, the original one on the Wii, I played that one a good amount. But
Off
yeah.
topic, but you know what the new characters look like? They look like Detective Pikachu characters. Because if you played the one on 3DS, it almost like the same art style.
Actually, now that I think about it, I do remember what the main character in that game looks like. It's like, yeah, they actually do kind of look like that. Yeah, I really am kind of curious as to why they're changing it to look more like that. Like, do they just want to change things up for the sake of changing things up, even though nobody asked them to change that one thing? I don't know. Seems.
Who knows?
I don't know. It's weird. It's like weird how that's like my biggest complaint so far. It's just like the character designs. It's like starters, whatever. If it's like, oh, the character designs though, they don't look like Pokemon characters.
Fortunately not. But I'm gonna have to end this call early because I gotta get to the bus stop to catch my bus and go to work.
Okay, then. Well.
Thanks for the discussion. I know it was kind of small.
Yeah.
But there just wasn't that much. There wasn't enough to talk about because it's just like the initial trailers and it can be interpreted any way.
Yeah.
So I just hope for the same thing we've been getting since Sun and Moon and Sword and Shield, and that is new regional forms. I think that's the best thing they've done in a long time. But that's all I gotta say. And I'll be picking the fire starter. Goodbye.
Alrighty, so yeah, that's pretty much all we really got to say. Apologies if this discussion was not really structured all that well. We kind of deviated several times, but I still hope you guys enjoyed it anyways. So yeah, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet coming out late 2022. Like I said, I didn't have that much to say. I mean, I don't really have that much to say about Pokemon in general because it's not a franchise I'm super interested in. But I did want to do this discussion because I knew that Ethan would want to say some stuff. And of course, we did do a hour and 30-minute discussion on Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl when that got revealed. This isn't as long as that, of course, because like you said, there's just not that much to talk about yet. But we may end up doing another one of these down the line when we get more information, so we'll see what happens there. But yeah, so what are you guys' thoughts on Scarlet and Violet? You guys excited for it? You guys, what do you guys want to see in it? What do you guys not want to see in it? Let us know your thoughts down below. And with that being said, this is Logan59XP, and I'll see you guys next time.